This before and after is a great example of an eyebrow that I think a lot of us have, where it's a little bit thin, the arch is not as high as you would like it to be. So if that is you, if this is your eyebrow, you definitely want to stick around because I'm going to show you a couple of little tips and tricks to enhance your eyebrow without having to do too much. So stick around and I'm going to show you how to do that. Hello everyone, it's Jasmine, your brow expert. Thank you so much for joining me. For those of you that are new to my channel, my brow expert channel, I've been shaping eyebrows for over 25 years and I'm still shaping brows at the Anastasia salon in Beverly Hills. So if you're ever in the neighborhood, if you live close by, stop by and get your best eyebrow. I wax and I tweeze and I show you the color that you should be wearing if you're not quite sure about that. So come and visit me. And thank you for some of you that have. It's been a pleasure meeting you. So yeah, 25 years and maybe a little bit longer. So I've seen just about every eyebrow out there and I love a good challenge. I especially love those eyebrows that are really thin or the shape is off because I really like showing the clients and yourselves just a little goes a long way. Just a little adjustment here. Don't feel like you need to do so much, especially when you see beautiful eyebrows that are made up beautifully because, you know, they have an expert doing their eyebrows. So anyone can do one or two or three different little things that can make a big difference. So please stick around and I'm going to show you with this model how I do that. So looking at this eyebrow, obviously the arch can stand to be a little higher and she's got that opening down below here, right? Which I think a lot of us tend to do because we over tweeze that little area just to give ourselves a lift. In reality, it kind of gets it too round. So these are the three areas that I'm going to work on. Raising the arch, adding a little bit of arch with some makeup, of course. And I'm going to shape that first line up in the front of the eyebrow, meaning I'm going to just tweeze off some of those pieces. And in that pocket, that's where you add color. Those are the three most important areas, especially on our eyebrow. And some of you might have just one of those issues, all three or two. And having it shaped is going to make a world of difference. You're going to see that in just a second. So look at this. Nicely shaped. And what I mean by shaped is I just tweeze some of those pieces of hairs down below this area right here, right? Now, if you're not sure, if you're intimidated by tweezing that, do this. Apply some highlight, not this. Apply some highlighter or concealer stick underneath the eyebrows, right over here. Then you're going to see that it already makes a difference because it creates a stencil. I have an old brow tattoo, so my brows doesn't count, which is why I always use the model, right? But I do want you to see me holding the products because that really does help. Now look at this. I'm applying the color right above the brow line. That's the arch, right? Now, I didn't show you on the model, but if you look at the measurement, middle of the nostril, over in the middle of the iris in an angle, that's the arch. But if you're not sure about doing the measurement, just go above the brow line naturally. Your natural brow line. You're not creating a new shape. You're just going to shy above the line that you see. So that way it's unique to you. But you're just going to shy above, right? Down below here, remember that other white line? So this is an optional area because I tweeze some of those pieces of hair. Again, if you apply the highlighter over those hairs, that's when you can stand back and go, I can stand to lose some of those hairs. Just tweeze 2, 1, or 3 hairs, but not much. You can always take away more later. But just add a little bit of color underneath that pocket. Now the pocket isn't as obvious now, right? Because look at the before, it's not as obvious. Because I tweeze some of those hairs. Look at this. I apply some color up in the front, but you know what? Even though you might have this front brow like this and you're like, I need a lot of color, try not to do that, at least not at first. So what I do is I lay the pencil and just lightly coat the front just to give myself a background, her background. You can always go back and add more later. The reason I hold it sideways so that way you don't put too much pressure. This is now when you go back and just kind of fill in those little outlines, especially above, right? And when I comb it through, obviously it's toned down a little bit. And that's what you want to do is go back and forth and comb and apply. So that way you're blending the color. Of course, my favorite, brush 18, I'm just blending the highlighter out. I'm right-handed doing this side of the eyebrow, so you can see that I'm holding it like this. You could also hold it like this, where it's kind of like you're writing a pencil, but don't apply too much pressure or hold the brush too hard, because that puts too much tension on the skin. And over here, of course, it would be like this. So anyway, beautiful, right? And you're thinking, well, yeah, I mean, because you're doing it. You know, the most important thing is just that lower area where the hair was tweezed off. But if you're not comfortable with that, just add color in that pocket. It's so important. The reason why I'm going over the penciled area with the powder is sometimes the pencil, look at this, I'm just tapping the color with the brush, lightly coating the pencil. The reason why I do this, sometimes the pencil can get kind of dark or waxy, but it's easy to use the pencil, right? Because you have better control. You like the powdery look because it gives that natural powdery look. So just grab a little bit and just add over the pencil. Not a lot, you're just tapping and just diffusing the color, and just a tiny bit underneath. That's optional. You don't have to apply that much, but it's really at the top here. So that, I think, helps to have the pencil actually even stay on a little bit longer. But you notice that I always like to clean it up with the brush 18. Everything is cleaned up with the brush 18. And the clear brow gel will actually allow the products to stay on longer. She obviously has that very thin coat of hair. You can still see a little bit of the pencil above. You don't have to go as high as I did. Also, it's the lighting. I'm not making excuses, because people have asked me, like, you know, I can still see the pencil. In person, I could guarantee you, I promise you, not guarantee you, I promise you that it looked very natural. If you have a lot of overhead lighting, obviously that you're going to see a little bit more of that. But she got the idea, and the most important thing for her actually was just feeling more comfortable in not having that piece of hair, because she held on to that lower piece of hair for a while just because it made her feel like it was thicker, but she realized it just made her arch more sad. Like it brought her look of her whole look, her look of her face down. She wanted that lift, and she knew that she wanted that, but she just didn't know how to do it. So just removing some of that piece of hair and adding color above gave her that lift, and the highlighter added that lift. So I hope this tip was very helpful. I just realized looking at myself, wow, I'm just really shiny. I don't mind that actually, because it minimizes all the fine lines. But we're in the summer season, right? So everything is just a little bit more humid. So excuse me if I'm glowing. I hope these tips did help. Definitely put in the comments if I missed anything, or you have a question as well. But you know, these videos are made to just add some better shaping with the tools that you have. There's so much of it that is about the shape, which is what I've devoted this channel to, more than, I don't know, like the proper makeup and wrong concealer or wrong highlighter. Or I try to use the most simple products as possible. I will tag these products, still early in the morning for me, products, so that way you could quickly purchase. I tag because some of you have asked me to do that. But everything will be written in the descriptions, including my makeup, my lipstick, which is the most question I get. A lot of times I just wear lip pencil as my lipstick. It's easier. And the lip pencil can be a little bit on the drying side, which is why my lips are kind of moisturized from the moisturizer. So when I put the lip pencil on, I just move my lips like you would with the lipstick, and it just kind of moves it around. I do add a little bit of sometimes gloss in the middle or something glittery or shiny. But it's also about just quick makeup for me, which is why I just like to put either just lip gloss only or just lip pencil as a lipstick. So yeah, going on a makeup tangent here. So thank you, and I will see you next week.